So guys, I finally gotten the full details surrounding the disappearance of Tulu, who mysteriously went missing in November of 2024. As at the time of making this video, it would be around 42 days since his disappearance. I have made a previous video going based on my friendship with him and what I knew then as far back as 2022. However, I have listened to his younger brother, who was the last person who saw him before he disappeared. And the details of the events that took place leading up to Tolu leaving the house is very chilling, disturbing, dark, and worrisome. Right now, I can tell you firsthand, I am fully convinced that Tolu is missing. And wherever he is not okay, and he needs our help to find him and bring him back home. This is not a prank, this is not a clout, this is not anything. This is somebody I know personally. I know him personally. And the things that I have heard, the details have pretty much changed my mind. And it is now clear to me that this young man needs our help right now. In the previous video, the only information that was relayed was the fact that he woke up one morning around 3 a.m., pulled out his mobile phone, removed the SIM card, and gave his iPhone 15 Pro Max to his younger brother, Samuel, before he left the house and vanished. That was all we had. However, after speaking to Samuel, it turned out that there were so many things that had happened. The mobile phone that was given to Samuel happened earlier that day, the day he went missing. And when he did that in the daytime, he left the house. It was said he left the house, but they weren't worried because it's daytime. He eventually did come back later in the evening, and somewhere around 12, because this was his apartment, he asked his younger brother Samuel that they should go to their father's own apartment. It's a distance. And so in the middle of the night, Samuel follows his older brother Tolu. They all gathered their stuff and went to their father's house. And while they were there, he starts to react in a way that was unusual. It's almost as though he had some kind of confrontation with the dad. And somewhere around 3 a.m. in his father's house, he woke up and told his younger brother that they need to leave their father's house. They need to leave and they need to go back home. And this was 3 a.m. and somehow, I think the father's house and the house is around the boundary of Ogun State and Lagos. So he and his brother began their journey, probably by foot or taking any available keke they could see at the time. And they got to some area. According to the brother Samuel, he said that on their way going towards back home, back to his house, a group of boys in the street were trying to rob them because they were with their phones, and the younger brother was with his phone and his own phone because the younger brother already has his own mobile phone. But Tolu kept, standing up to these these thugs, that he would yell a certain word that he has been saying the whole day, even the day before. There's a phrase he kept repeating, something regarding the light has come, darkness will go. It was a phrase and a parable sort of said in Yoruba. So he kept repeating those words strongly. Light has come, darkness has disappeared, something of that notion. And he was adamant about it and stood firm. And he and his brother, they continued walking until they got to somewhere around Ladipo. I might not be very sure of the location, but Ladipo was what was mentioned in a conversation. And while they were at a particular junction or area or roundabout, Tolu tells his brother Samuel that he should go back, that he doesn't want them to see the two of them together. It's unclear who he was referring to, but Samuel is confused at this point. This is a little boy who had just woken up from sleep to follow his older brother to wherever he wanted them to go. And Samuel tries to see what he can do or turn around for a moment, and by the time he turns back to look for Tolu, Tolu had gone. He had disappeared. He had gone somewhere else. He had taken a different route. And this is a clear sign that this young man is troubled and might be having some challenges. I also got to learn from Timmy that people had cited him, people had spotted him, people had said to him around the earlier period of time that they saw him walking along the road around Oshodi side, around Ladipo, that they've seen him and he was on barefoot and he was most likely talking to himself. Also put in mind that prior to this, there have been situations and signs and things that have been looking odd. One of them including probably days before, he had spoken to Timmy and requested to see Timmy, but Timmy was busy on a job. So before Timmy could come back, the whole situation had happened. However, his younger brother who was with him recalled some strange behaviors surrounding the darkness will go, light has come, words that he would request for them to pray, and he also requested for them to kill his cat, suspecting the cat of having a demon. I know he has a cat as a pet. He also requested for the father during a devotion that they should roll on the floor and thank God. So there is this religious undertone, and then there is this unstableness with his mindset at the time. He was clearly going through some form of episode. I don't want to diagnose him here because I'm not an expert. So a lot of the information surrounding this boy's disappearance is sketchy enough to finally conclude that he is in trouble and he needs our help. He needs your help. He needs my help. And I am making this video to raise awareness regarding this boy going missing because it's been 40 days too long. At this point, I'm even suggesting we start checking hospitals or clinics or psychiatric hospitals or, any place or anyone who would have probably seen him and maybe tried to help him. Given the fact that they saw him walking on barefoot, only God knows how far he would have gone, how far he would have walked. It's not as though he's walking around, surrounding around. There's a chance he is probably going somewhere and just keeps going. No matter what you believe, whether you believe it's spiritual, whether you believe it's a mental health problem, this is not the time for us to go through speculations as to what happened. Right now, we want to find him. We need to find him. We need more people to be at alert. We need more people to take this seriously. I've always thought this was clouds and it breaks my heart because right now I wished it was clouds. I wish this was a joke, but it's not. It's 40 days too long a joke. And I don't believe it's too late, but we need to start looking for him. We need to start asking around. Wherever you are, ask people around if they may have seen him. Since it's 40 days, I'm predicting his hair and his beard may look different from this picture, but we know what he looks like. We also now know his situation. Wherever you are in Lagos, Ogun State, or around, put an eye out on any young-looking person you see on the street. Put an eye out on any young boy who you see walking aimlessly on the street. At this point, we need a little bit of compassion. We need a little bit of empathy. This is not time to judge him based on his life or whatever we feel like we want to say. Let's get Tulu home. And maybe then we can speculate as we want. I don't want to go on theories right now. I want us to look out and find. Share this video, like this video, comment who you think should see this video because we gotta be more active on this. I personally believe he's most likely somewhere, someplace that maybe those people they don't have TikTok or social media or Facebook or YouTube. Maybe those people don't even know who he is because, like I said, his looks now may have changed. 40 days without a haircut, without grooming, without him pretty much looking like what we see on TikTok, his looks would be different. So put that in mind. And if anybody is working in a hospital, in a psychiatric hospital, as sad as it is, I don't want to break the hearts of the family. Forgive me, but at this point, checking hospitals wouldn't even be far off. It's been 40 days. A lot can happen in 40 days. A whole lot can happen in 40 days. The first week, Seth, would have been a whole lot that could happen because we don't know who would have wanted to take advantage of him. We don't know who would have probably wanted to hurt or harm him. But so far, so good. We are hopeful that he is still somewhere walking, also hoping to be found. And we want to try our best to find him and bring him home. Please, guys, Tulu needs our help. This is for Tulu. Let's just forget the fact that he's a TikToker, he's a human being, and imagine if he was your brother or your friend, you would want to find him. Tag your favorite creators, even tag the Nigerian police. This needs to go as viral as it should if it hasn't gone already. Because I know it has gone on TikTok and many people think it's a joke, but right now I can assure you this young man needs our help. And we gotta do it before it gets too late. It's late enough, but there is still hope.